it's Sarah and welcome to my channel. Sorry about my voice, I just woke up. I recorded a video last night, but didn't have space on my phone and then just a whole thing, so I ended up deleting it. So I'm gonna record another one right now, hopefully get it posted. So anyway, like I said, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah, and on this channel we like to talk about epilepsy, seizures, and VNS, which stands for vagus nerve stimulator or vagal nerve stimulator, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes we talk about other things. Sometimes I go a while without posting, so it ends up being like an update every time, but today we're going to talk about, well, in my last video, I'm not sure if I talked about this. I don't want to watch it, it's embarrassing. My videos are embarrassing, so I'm not going to watch it again. But today we're going to talk about my new neurologist and my first appointment last September. So anyway, let's start. And I'm going to try and stay on topic, which is hard for me, but anyway, let's go. So September, I saw my new neurologist, my new one out of so many I've had. Had to get a new one. He's my new one. He's pretty great. Talks really fast, but other than that, good. So at my appointment, he was telling me that one of the medications I'm on, which is acetazolamide, it's one of 4 I'm on. I'm on levetiracetam, which is Keppra, lamotrigine extend release, which is Lamictal, oxtellar extend release, which is trileptal extend release, I believe, and then acetazolamide. Anyway, he told me that acetazolamide, which I'd been put on by my previous neurologist in 2018, as kind of an afterthought. She said, well, you know, we might as well try something else because your seizures aren't, you know, going, like, stopping. It's like, well, okay. So we tried that, and now I've been on for 7 years. He told me that acetazolamide, he doesn't really like for seizures. Also, you're not supposed to be on it long term. And obviously that kind of like threw me off. I'm like, okay, well, I've been on for 7 years. No one ever told me this. So he said that he wanted to start weaning me off of it. And so I said, okay, well, let's see how that works, because my body is very, very sensitive to medications. And anyway, so did I just have a tiny seizure there? I don't know if I did. Anyway, he said we're gonna start weaning off. So originally he said so I usually take 2 in the morning, 2 at night. He said we're gonna do 1 in the morning and 1 at night. Well, my body did not appreciate that very much. So now I went to 2 in the morning and then 1 3/4. And now I'm at 2 in the morning and 1.5. So I'm kind of just doing it that way instead. And I think it's working pretty well. Of course, I still have seizures because, hello, I have epilepsy. But hopefully I'll be able to wean off of it completely at some point. Because it kind of freaks me out, like, that I'm even still on it. I didn't really want to go on it in the first place because I felt like it wasn't doing anything, but I just stayed on it. Anyway, so yeah, he's a great neurologist. I really like him. Okay, here's what happened next. There's a fly in my room. Where did you come from? The door's not even open. Anyway, so in March I had a follow-up. This last March I had a follow-up, and it was with it wasn't with him. It was like, I think they're called nurse practitioners. Anyway, so sorry, I got a text. I saw him instead. Now, I do not like him. He spent the entire time trying to convince me to, well, first, I have insomnia, really bad sleep. I have had it for years, and I've gone on different medications for it and stuff. It's just something that I have to deal with. He told me that I need to get my sleep under control, which, well, duh, but I've tried so many medications. It's just something I have to deal with. My primary care doctor and I have worked on it and stuff. We're just, anyway, he wanted me to go on a whole new seizure medication just for my sleep. So starting a new seizure medication just for the sleep aspect, because apparently it helps you sleep. What? I'm not going on another medication just for sleep. Like, just, does that make sense? I'm not gonna start a seizure medication just for the sleep part. So I told him that. I said, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. And my mom was with me. She drives me everywhere. If you know, you know. She was asking the same thing, like, well, what if it didn't work? Because then she would just have to wean right off of it, which is really hard for her to do. So eventually, with him keep pressuring me to do it, I finally just said yes. Picked up the medication later. I never took it. I did research on it. Apparently it's not even really good for epilepsy. They use it for like a whole different thing. I don't know. I didn't take it. It didn't feel right. But during the appointment, he checked my VNS, which is what they always do. And I was right next to him, so I kind of was watching the entire time. But of course, I don't know what all the settings mean. Or like, when he's looking at the tablet, he's doing stuff. But anyway, I was watching. And what always happens when they check it is your VNS automatically goes off when they are fiddling with it. And a day or two later, it started feeling kind of weird. It felt a lot stronger. It felt more like it does when I swipe my magnet, because the magnet is like 0.25 or 0.5 higher than the settings of your actual VNS, because the magnet is meant to be a boost of stimulation for when you have seizures. And it felt like that instead of the normal settings. It felt like that every single time. And so that was freaking me out, because why was it doing that? And then also my particular VNS, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it, whenever my heart rate goes up, it actually helps that. So it'll go off when my heart rate goes off. So it's going off more than usual because of that, because the anxiety of the fact that my VNS was acting weird made it go off even more, which made it more uncomfortable. So eventually I messaged them, like a day later I messaged them saying like, hey, what's going on? And I was scared because I thought, like, will I have to get it removed or something? They had me go in the next day. My neurologist walks in and says something like, I don't remember the exact words, but he said something about like, oh, you got it turned up, are we turning it down? And my mom and I are just sitting there, what? Huh? I didn't get it turned up. And then I realized, did that guy turn up? Because he said, yeah, you got it turned up. And I said, he never told me he turned up my VNS. And I just kept saying that over and over because I was just so shocked this had happened. And it was clear that my neurologist was not happy at the fact that this had happened. And my mom and I were talking about it later, and we're thinking that he might have had, it seemed like his demeanor was kind of telling us that maybe this had happened before with other patients. So he probably had to go talk to him about it, which, well, good, he should. So he turned it down, and things went back to normal, which was good. I realized after the appointment, when I got home, that when I had the initial appointment in March, that we had made a follow-up in September, and it was with that guy again, the NP. And well, obviously I didn't want to see him again after that. So I messaged and I said, hey, is there any way I can actually see my neurologist instead? Because of my prior experience and my previous experience. And they said, yeah, so hallelujah. So yeah, I get to see him in September instead. I'm very excited. Well, I'm not excited. I do not like appointments because every time I go to a neurologist appointment, I always end up feeling really depressed when I leave, because I think part of it is that I realize that I'm going to have epilepsy forever. It's not going to go away. And it's just going to the appointments obviously reminds me of that. Anyway, so yeah, that was something that happened. Why is it so red? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so that happened. I wanted to share that with you. I will try and make more videos, you know, like be more consistent at it. If you have any questions that you would like answered that I could make a video about, comment, let me know. Also, if you want to stick around, feel free to subscribe, or I don't know, do whatever you want. And thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.